No, we can't do it off of a phone though. You know what I mean? What's up with you guys on YouTube, man? Apologies for the interruption. You know what I mean? But we still got some kinks to work out with this new equipment. We got to make sure that we can provide a quality atmosphere for you guys on YouTube as well, because we value you as much as anybody else in any of these other channels. Appreciate it. Apologies for the interruption. You know what I mean? Southern. Yeah, SB, what's good with you, bro? You know what I mean? What's good with you, man? One thing I say about SB, your sound is definitely consistent, and your audience will never get tired of that, bro. They'll never get tired of that, of the fact that you're providing them with the same you of today as the same you tomorrow as you are today. It's consistent. Your brand is building, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? That's what matters, man. KBSC TV, what's good with you, man? Apologies for the interruption on YouTube, bro. Apologies for that. I hope you guys caught the gist of what I'm saying. If not, you got to go to Facebook and catch this whole thing over. You know what I mean? Because this is powerful. This is real powerful, man. A lot of artists don't have brands. You don't have a brand for people to buy into, or you don't have a brand for people to believe in. All you have is a rap name, and all you have is music all over the board. You know what I mean? Some people got so many different producers that they rock with, so they don't got to establish sound. Some people go on YouTube and snatch every beat that's hot. You snatch every beat that you feel is hot, not beats that sound like you. You know what I mean? That's another thing too. Some people grab the beats that really sound like the artist. Like if you grab a Bryson Tiller type beat, you grab a beat that really sounds like Bryson Tiller's sound. So now you can't put yourself into it. You gotta do what the beat tells you to do. You gotta sound like Bryson Tiller, or you gotta sing like Bryson Tiller. You gotta establish your own sound out here, man. You know what I mean? So all of that grabbing beats from whoever got hot beats, all that grabbing beats from every producer online. You feel me? I said this last week, I believe. I said if some artist were to drop a project, they wouldn't get no money, because you got 12, 13 different producers that you got to pay off. You got 12 to 13 different YouTube producers that you got to pay off, because all you did was grab from producers who got hot beats. You know what I'm saying? Even if you made your first 500, your first $200 off of your project, you ain't getting much of that, because now you got to pay off 10 different people. You feel me? This music ain't for fun. Don't do that. Don't go around just grabbing beats because they hot. Build with one producer. You build with one or two producers. That was kind of funny. Maybe even three. Maybe 3 is the maximum. 3 is the maximum. As an independent artist who's just starting, you grab 1 to 3 producers and you get your sound established with those guys. It's supposed to be a marketing tool for the product. Exactly. It's an asset for sure, but the back end should be something for sale. Yeah, exactly. You know what I always say, bro? Just like you said, music is a leverage tool. You know what I mean? Music is a leverage tool. You're not supposed to try to get rich off the music per se by itself. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta do it, bro. Bizzo Beats that's for you. You know what I mean? They work for you. That's you. You know what I mean? But don't go and grab beats from this guy because he got a hot beat. He got one. Some people are like kids in a candy store, bro. They like kids in a candy store. You know what I mean? You grabbing all kinds of things, and now your tooth hurt. You feel me? Now your tooth hurt. You got cavities, and now you got to fill them. You know what I mean? Everybody that you decide to put in on your project, just know that if you expecting a lot of big money from it, you got to start cutting out now. Now you got to start cutting the pie. You got to start cutting the cake. You got to start setting up all kinds of different tables at different places at the table for no reason. You feel me? It wouldn't have mattered if you got hot beats from 500. I won't say 500. That's too many. From 10 different producers, as much as it would have mattered if you got 10 different beats from 2 different producers. Now you got to cut less of the pie. You get more of your money, and your sound is branded now. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. Come on. I said this so many times. Don't you notice that every mainstream artist has their own, their go-to producer? Don't you notice that every mainstream artist has their go-to producer, and you can't break that bond? You feel what I'm saying? Because they know if they break that bond, they've lost their sound. They've lost the sound that people are familiar with, and it's going to be hard to get that again or come up with another one. You got to start branding your material. You got to start making sure that your sound is permanent. You know what I mean? You got to start making sure that your sound is permanent, that people are not going to be able to say, oh, he changed up. She switched up. She don't sound like she used to. He don't sound like he used to. Now he started messing with that other producer, and he don't, you know what I mean? He can't give us that #1 hit no more. Sean Grady and Sheen Grady in the world. Listen to my new play it real quick. Andrew, I can't play it on live, bro, because if I play it on live, I gotta play everybody's, you know what I mean? Not really where we're trying to go right now, you know what I mean? We may end up doing like song reviews soon. I always notice, man, like it's homemade. I always notice on when it comes to song reviews, you get I don't know, people just start flooding the live when you do song reviews. That just shows you, no offense to anybody, but it just shows you the desperation of artists all over the world. You know what I mean? You got a whole targeted audience out here that you need to be trying to reach, but you're willing to take anything. So you go to these song reviews and you go crazy. Not saying you guys personally, I don't know that, but I'm speaking off of experience when I used to do song reviews, or when I used to when I see somebody doing song reviews, people who don't even really do anything in the music industry do song reviews, people just flock to it. 50 people in the room, 100 people in the room, all because they want somebody to listen to their music. It's like, bro, those song reviews cool and all that, but you know, I'm not the person you need to be getting to listen to your music. You got a whole fan base out here that's waiting to be discovered or waiting for you to discover them, and you trying to get a song review. You know what I mean? By somebody who ain't even, let's get on to it. You know what I mean? Let's get back to the meat and potatoes. You feel what I'm saying? You need a brand, man. You need a brand. You need a brand. Everything that you do with your music has to align with each other. Everything that you do with your music, your videos, your pictures got to be on point. They got to have a certain look. You know what I mean? So you need to set up an appointment with a photographer so you can get a photo shoot done. I'd rather be patient and wait. Yeah, GA, honestly, me too, bro. Me too. You feel me? Like, I think that's one time when I first started, I was so amped up and ready for somebody to play one of my beats on this is like when live was first. This ain't when I first started, apparently. When live was first introduced, you know what I mean? Or webinar material. Webinar is not on Facebook. This is like a whole webinar type of thing. I was amped up for this guy to play my beat one time. After that, I started thinking to myself, yo, I need to be trying to get these beats played in front of my clients, in front of people who are going to bomb. You know what I mean? Not somebody who just trying to chase clout per se, but somebody who ain't really trying to help your music out. They can't get your music where it needs to be. They can't play your music for a record label, or they're not about to sign you. So what's the point? Just so they can tell you it's hot, so they can help your ego, or so they can help your damaged ego because nobody else will listen? You got to do better, or you got to look at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is you need your audience. You need fan base to listen to your music, not anybody who's willing to play it. You know what I mean? That's just how it works, man. That's just how I feel about it. I'm always like out of the mix, but you know what I mean? Out of the way, but in the mix kind of thing. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I got to stop saying, you know what I mean? That's just infectious, you know? But it's up to you guys, man. It's up to you guys. Think very carefully and very strategically on how you're going to provide more value to your brand. You feel me? Like I said, you got to build a world around your brand, not put your brand in your world, not put it in your government name's world. You don't want to build a world around your government name and have art being a music artist as a part of that. You feel what I'm saying? You want to put your government name in a locker somewhere. You want to put it in only place that your government name is important at. The only place that your government name is important at is at work. That's it. That's it. And to your mama. You know what I mean? And to your mama. That's it. That's it. When people see you on live, they don't even need to think. They don't need to think about your government name. They don't even need to think to call you out by your nickname in the streets or whatnot, or your nickname to your peoples. They need to think instantly. That's such and such. That's the artist name. You know what I mean? Artist name. That's how you know when your brand is fire. That's how you know when your brand is doing what it needs to do. If people see you and instantly think your brand name, you doing it right. But until then, you got a lot of work to put in, man. You got a lot of work to put in, and nobody can do it but you. You know what I mean? Nobody can do it with you. Ad libs, like that's another thing. You can think of ad libs that are only yours. You know what I mean? It's only like, I don't know, like 4 of them right now. It's only 4 ad libs out here right now that everybody's using. The things that everybody are doing. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's doing the same thing. Nobody's trying to be original. Nobody's trying to step out the box. Nobody's trying to do something that'll actually be noteworthy. Come on, man. It's that easy. It's that easy to establish your brand. It's that easy to get people to recognize who you are as an artist. It's that easy to get people to know that this is you. That's his voice. That's her voice. That's her on the song. That's him on the song. It's that easy. But for some reason, most people just choose to remain in mediocrity. I will never understand that. I'll never understand how you can want so desperately to be a part of a trend or whatever's going on. When everybody start rapping like that, you start rapping like that. When everybody starts singing like this, you start singing like this. That's not the way. You know what I mean? That's not the way. Your brand has to be adamant. Your brand has to be stoic. It has to be what it's going to be, regardless of whatever's going on out there. You know what I mean? You a brand, man. You are a brand. You a brand. Whether you believe it or not, or whether you think that you are or not, you are a brand. You a business. You working every day. Your brand is working for you every day. You know what I mean? So the least that you can do for your brand is give it a bio. You know what I mean? Give your brand a bio. Give your brand an email of its own. Give your brand a story behind it. Give your brand its own Facebook, a like page, a fan page. Give your brand its own Instagram. Give your brand everything that you as your government got. Your government individual no longer matters. It ain't even about your government. It ain't about anything to do with your government name or nothing. You give your brand that stuff. You know what I mean? Give your brand everything your government got. If your government name got a Twitter, give your brand another one. You know what I mean? If your government name got Instagram, give your brand an Instagram. You know what I mean? If your government name has a bank account, go give your brand a bank account. Which, by the way, y'all should have started those bank accounts like last week or 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? An identity. You feel what I'm saying? You need an identity. You feel me, Marlon? That's dope. That's exactly what it is. You need an identity for your brand, not just a name. Not just a name. You feel me? Even if you want to be loving hip hop, you can have a whole nother persona associated with your brand. Come on, man. You really think some of these people be acting like this off the camera? You really think that these people are acting like this so unbalanced and so what's the word? Unstable off the camera? You think they go home and be like that? It's all a gimmick, bro. You need a gimmick. You need a gimmick. Y'all need gimmicks, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not speaking like an artist, because as an artist, you're going to think, oh, no, I'm going to just remain real to myself. My government name, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I mean? I ain't going to be fake. Bro, come on, man. Come on, man. That stopped. Like, I won't say stopped, but back, like, I would say DMX was probably like the last real thoroughbred artist out here. The last artist that they allowed to be who he is and off camera, on camera. DMX is DMX, right? You feel me? But even though his brand is still what it is, you know, as soon as you think DMX, what do you think? You think about the voice, you know what I mean? The type of music. You think about it's so many things. You feel me? That's how you need to be. You need to be like that. Whatever you doing, when the camera is on, it needs to be like that when it's off to you, because your brand is new and people need to see that every day. Every time they see you, they need to see who you are as an artist. You know what I mean? That's just how it gotta be. That's just how it gotta be right now, man. Like, you in the trenches. You in the trenches, yo. You ain't at a point where you can kick back and just let your brand work for yourself and work for itself, or where people automatically go to remember your song because they heard it one time, or you ain't to the point where you did one performance and now everybody's going to start knowing who you are, or you got one viral video and that's going to last. You ain't at the point where you can kick your feet up. You feel me? So while you sleep, you need to make sure that things are out there, like a bio. You need to make sure that your email represents your brand name. You need to make sure that all of your social medias represent what your brand stands for, who you are as a brand, as an artist. You got to make sure all of that stuff is in line. You feel me? Because you're not doing this for you. You already know everything about you. But the people, they don't know. How about a curse? I might not want to do that. You know what I mean? But they don't know nothing about you. The people don't know nothing about you. The people don't know nothing about you. They ain't even thinking about you right now. They're not even thinking about you right now. You ain't put yourself out there cohesively enough for the people to be thinking about you. Plies at the studio. I got to be Plies at the studio, and I was at. He way different in person than the artist. Yeah, facts. You feel me? When the cameras come on, you got to put on the act. You got to put on the character. You feel me? That's what it really is, man. Like, come on, yo. You know how obnoxious that would be for some of these people to be who they are on camera, in person? You would not like them. They wouldn't like themselves. They wouldn't like themselves. But guess what? The reason you believe that is because you bought into the brand. You bought into the brand. You really believe that this is who they are. These rappers that are coming out nowadays, come on, man. They ain't really street. They ain't really street. Do you know real street people? Or do you know people who really in the streets like that? They don't dress like that. They don't wear jewelry. They don't wear all the choker chains, and you feel what I'm saying? They don't do that. The tight clothes, no. Some maybe, but you know, that's a depiction of what street looks like to the industry. So that's what gets the attention of you. So you will believe that they really doing what they talking about. But mind you, back in the day, the image used to be different. You feel me? The image used to be different. For a rapper to be a gangster, or for a rapper to be a thug, for a rapper to be in the streets, the clothes used to be a little bigger. You know what I mean? The clothes used to be a little bigger. The jewels used to be a little, they used to be gold back then. You know what I mean? Or it would be gold, or it would be like a diamond watch and a few different kinds of chains. But all of the stuff that they doing now, it's overly excessive. And I'm going to tell you why. This is a little off topic, but you know, the content of music has declined greatly. So if you just give people music without good content, they're gonna get tired of that. So we gotta give this artist all these chains and all of this these watches and this and that and crazy hairstyles and all of that, so people will stay more entertained. It's all entertainment. It's just entertainment. But you bought into it. You bought into their brand, so you know it must be working. It must be working because the entire world has bought into those brands, and now it's to the point where the entire world believes that if your jeans is too tight for your behind, you feel me? If your shirt is a woman small, you a thug somehow. The world believes that now. The world believes that if you wear little clothes and you put jewels on top of that and the latest Air Force Ones or the latest Jordans, you a thug somehow. You see how that's shifted from 2007, from the 1990s, from the 90s on up to 2019. Do you not see how that shifted? Do you not see how the perception of thug or the perception of gangster in rap, it shifted? You feel what I'm saying? That is a brand. That's what branding is. That's what rebranding is. You feel me? Look at 50 Cent. He was a thug, or he was a gangster rapper. He was a gangster rapper when he came out, but he had to rebrand, especially after that deal with Vitamin Water. He couldn't go on talking about certain things anymore, rapping, looking a certain way. He had to rebrand. Now he wears suits. You feel what I'm saying? He wears suits, and now he's a businessman. He focuses on business now. You feel me? That is rebranding. That was not accidental. That wasn't accidental. He didn't do that because you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to just put on a suit tomorrow. No. See, how would it look for 50 Cent to still be rapping and looking how he looked back then, and you just close like a $500,000 deal? No, half a billion, excuse me. $500 million or somewhere up in that line, like 300, 400 million, something like that. How would that look? You got to change at certain points. That's rebranding. Your favorite candy company. You see they changing a lot of the rappers now. The packaging, excuse me. They changing a lot of the packaging. You feel what I'm saying? They doing that to stay relevant. They rebranding. Some of it don't even have the same slogans that they used to have. Everything is a brand. Everything is a brand. So what is your packaging? What is your slogan? Your ad libs? Your vernacular? The words that you use? T.I. rebranded. You know what I mean? Like he always has been on the way that he talks, but it had to happen. You know what I mean? It had to happen. You got to rebrand sometimes. You starting out as where you are now, if you don't have a cohesive or a solid brand, you need to rebrand definitely. You definitely need to rebrand. You know what I mean? Yeah, smoking. It's flashing mirrors, bro. It's all smoke and mirrors, man. Look at Jay-Z, one of the richest in the game. He doesn't wear a chain. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's like you choose who you align yourself with based off of the image and the brand that you choose to represent. You know what I mean? Or I'll put it like this, right? Oh man, perfect example. This guy came through. An artist came through. Shout out to him, by the way, today, and he dropped a record that's more like I don't want to say rock or country, but it's more along that pop realm. And you know what I told him? I asked him this question. And if I'm wrong, press 7. If I'm wrong, press 7, right? Have you ever seen Justin Bieber on the streets pushing his mixtapes? Have you ever seen Taylor Swift performing at a hole in the wall, trying to get her name recognized? That's two things. Have you ever seen Bruno Mars pushing his mixtapes in the mall? And at that very moment, everybody's mind or everybody's perception should have been expanded. No, you've never seen it. You never seen it and you never will. So that must mean that there's a method to go about this thing that you don't know about. You feel what I'm saying? It must mean that their brands are set up different to where They don't have to do those things. Now, I'm not telling you not to push your CDs, get your money. You know what I mean? Get your money. But I'm saying it like this. Often we put ourselves in boxes. You feel what I'm saying? We put ourselves in boxes where we got to do trap music. We got to do dirty South music. We got to do derogatory music and this and that. We branding ourselves with everybody else because that's all we know. We come from nothing and we got to represent. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Like, enough of that. You feel me? Think about what did Justin Bieber have to do in order to get his music to where he's one of the top artists in the world? What did Taylor Swift do? If she didn't go and push her music or perform at hole-in-the-wall clubs for little to no money, selling CDs wherever, what did she do to be one of the top artists in the world? What did these people do? What did Bruno Mars do? And what their brands allowed them to do that. You know what I mean? So how should I brand myself if I want to make it easier for me? Instagram, you already know how it goes, man. It always goes out after an hour. I wish it would go longer, but come over to Facebook if you want to continue the conversation. Appreciate you guys. We might not be on for too much longer, but love you guys, man. Subscribe and set it to see first. Damn, I wasn't able to get it out. You know what I mean? And that's how he stays relevant. Yeah, you know what I mean? For somebody, let's say 50 Cent, for someone his age, it wouldn't really be advantageous for him to start dressing like the younger artists. You feel me? It wouldn't be advantageous for them to go back to doing that kind of stuff because they passed that now. They had a better place in life. They doing better things. You know what I mean? So you got to dress for the job. If you want to start at the bottom, or if you want to start here and be an artist that's street music, gangster, this and that, yeah, dress the part. You know what I mean? Look the part. But there are other genres out here. There are other things that you can do with your music besides having to do that. You know what I mean? You never know where it could take you. You never know, man. You never know. Keep it too real soon. Person. Facts, man. Keeping it too real will soon keep a person broke. You know what I mean? Word. That is a fact. But that's just how it works, man. Do yourselves a favor and go back and look at this live chat again. Go and look at this live chat again, man. Like this, I'm not lying to you here when I tell you you need a brand and this is the way to build it, or this is how you want to start thinking about it. You know what I mean? This is how you think about a brand. I don't know. That's all I really got to say. I feel like I said enough. For you guys on YouTube, make sure that you come to the Facebook. I'm going to put my Facebook in the YouTube, John, as a matter of fact. Make sure you come to the Facebook so you can watch the whole thing. So you can watch the whole live. Also, follow me and set it to see first, too. You know what I mean? So you can always stay up to date with what we do over here on Facebook as well. But anybody got any questions before we rise up out of here, though? Anybody got any questions before we rise up out of here? Any final questions before we rise up out of here? That's my joint right there. Well, if not, I'm never wanting to stay someplace where I'm not wanted. No, I'm just joking with you guys, man. But it's much love, man. I love doing these live chats, and I love that you guys come and engage, and you know what I mean. That if you're serious about it, it's a reason you here. You know what I mean. You here because you're serious about your career, and you are passionate about music, and you just want to do this full time. That's what I'm trying to help you do. It's always funny to me how I think about back when I was a little younger. People would give me advice about things, some of which I tell you guys now. You feel me? But I would never want to listen. I'm always like, yo, all right, cool. Just show me how to get to the money. Show me how to make six figures. Show me how to do this. Just show me that. You know what I mean? And I would never want to listen. All I want to do is let me make a beat for you right quick. Let me show you my beats. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to the music. But getting older or growing and developing to who I am now, I realize that it's the small stuff or the information like this, the technical side, that's what's going to make you that's what's going to get you the way you're trying to go. That's what's going to make you who you are, who you're trying to be, or that's what's going to make you into that artist that's going to not take any bullshit. Excuse my language. I had to, because a lot of these artists, that's all they do. They don't educate themselves. They get signed and they become the largest artists out there with the smallest bank accounts. You know what I mean? And they can't tell you that, or they're too ashamed to tell you that. So now you're going to go and follow them into a black hole and you can't get yourself out. You feel me? Before you know it, you the next big artist, but now you ain't got no money. You ain't got no say-so about your music, and you ain't even passionate no more. That's what I'm trying to prevent. I'm telling you guys that it's okay for you to get it from the ground up. It's okay for you to not look at a label right now. It's okay for you to be independent. But if you're going to do that, make sure that you're doing it the right way and make sure that you educate yourself on how to do it without getting bent over. You know what I mean? Without having a label telling you when and what to say, how to do it, how to dress, how to talk, how to do all of that. You know what I mean? Maintain your freedom. Maintain your freedom as long as you can. But when the time for a label does come, they can't run over you or they can't take advantage of you. They can't put a piece of paper in front of your face that determines or dictates your life from that point on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you liberation. And that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Absolutely, Renton. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate that. This is me. You know what I mean? This is me. I've done all of that. I've done the major placements and not be satisfied with the contracts. I've done all of that. I've done the working with major artists and pursuing that, but not being happy with what's given. You feel me? And not being able to do anything about it. I've done all of that. I find more peace. I find more peace doing what I do here today and helping the next artist or helping the next musician get to where they're trying to go. But I want to make sure that y'all get there and stay there and be happy there. You know what I mean? For me, I look at it like this. The artists that come to these live chats or the musicians that come to these live chats, once you guys get to the level that you're going to get to, I ain't going to have no choice but to start a label. I ain't going to have no choice but to start a label. And when I do, if I do, that is, I may not, but if I do, it's gonna be the strongest label out there that's for the artist. It's gonna be the strongest label out there that's actually for the artist. But you know why? Because the artists that signed, they started here, they came here, or they learned something first. You know what I mean? They know how to manage their money. We have therapy and psychiatrists and stuff to check their mental states. We do all of that. That's the type of label I will run. You know what I mean? But if I don't start a label, then at least you guys have the information and the tools you need to do this without me as well. Feel what I'm saying? We ain't leaving nobody high and dry. So for your business, if you buy my beats, my mixing services, mastering, all of that, I thank you. I thank you. But at the same time, I know that you're going to be able to do this without me being a factor as well because of these live chats. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, man. For the musician, by the musician. You know what I mean? That ain't never going to change. That ain't never going to change. That ain't never going to change. You feel me? So, with that being said, man, we out of here. We do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. Every Sunday at 6 p.m. I know a lot of you guys may have a lot going on, but you know, make it your business to show up. Make it your business to show up. And if you want to talk about certain topics, inbox me about it, and we can incorporate it. You know what I mean? Things that you may be going through in your personal career that can help the community. You know what I mean? Let's build, man. Let's build. But be true producers like you. Hey, man, I don't know. I mean, I've told myself I'm not doing the whole YouTube thing primarily. I may post here and there on YouTube, but I get a kick out of working with the artist directly or working with them in a manner to where I can send you stuff daily through email so we can make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing, and I can send you beats. You know what I mean? Or it's just more personal, and it works better. You know what I mean? Just look at Missy Elliott and Timbaland. I always bring this up. They made more money than all of the independent artists and YouTube producers put together. Just two people compared to millions of people trying to do music, and they made more money than all of that. So I prefer personal relationships with the artists. You know what I mean? That's just me though. That's just me, man. But you know, much love to you guys. I love you guys, man. We about to get on up out of here. Thank you for doing this, making this possible, for showing up, for being there. That's half of the battle. If you're going somewhere tonight, man, why do you think they didn't have to take the street route? If you have the time, why do you think they didn't have? Because to be honest with you, I will put it like this: it's there are different music industries. When you think about it, you know what does a street artist have to do? They got to get out here and try to win the love of their city, and then they get mad when the city don't want to support it. Then you got to do hole in the wall shows, and you got to do all of this in order to get a buzz, just a buzz. Then you got to go and, you know what I mean? Then you go and your buzz dies, and if a label doesn't pick you up, you don't know what to do next. So yeah, but with them, I would say it's more digital. You feel me? They'll go and get the fan base before they start looking for shows. They'll go and get the audience base or the listener base before they go and start doing videos. They'll already establish a core fan base through the internet before they even start trying to do things like tours and open, and they don't open up for other artists. They don't do any of that. So the music industry that I like to say that I'm a part of will be that one, the one to where we truly utilize the internet to get our messages out there without having to do a lot of the dirty work. You know what I mean? Without having to go to the streets, or without having to go passing out mixtapes, or without having to go open up for artists, and without having to go, I don't know, just doing a lot of busy work. You feel me? That's what I say. That's what I think it is. I know that's the difference. I know that's why you never see Justin Bieber selling CDs. You would never see Taylor Swift opening up for another artist, or you would never see Miguel doing that. You would never see what's the guy, Bruno Mars. You would have never seen it because they utilized the internet in a different way. You know what I mean? They built the fan base before they started trying to put themselves out there and trying to gain all this credibility. Advertisements, bro. Advertisements. You know what I mean? If you were to take $2,000 and send and use it for advertisements, and you sent people to your single, your record, it could do wonders for you. You know what I mean? If you get $2,000 worth of people to your music to listen to it and stream it, they're gonna add it to their playlist, and they're gonna play it and play it and play it. Now they want more. You got a listener base, a real listener base. Heck, if you take 200, that might do that may do more for you. That'll definitely do more for you than saying I'm going to try to put myself out here in the streets first. You know what I mean? Because you in their phones now. The phone, the number one object that people view all the time. They listen to music on it. They sleep with it. They throw it. They break it. They buy more. They keep on coming back to those phones. So you got to get in those phones, bro. You got to get in those phones. You got to advertise, man. You got to advertise. You don't need to be in the streets. The streets is cold. The streets is cold. You need to be in those phones. You know what I mean? That's just the way it worked for me, man. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I built my business. That's why I'm a producer that doesn't worry about who, what, and the next person trying to do this and that. I'm doing what I'm doing, and it works for me. You know what I mean? It works for me. Like, it works. I can't complain at all. You know what I mean? Through the internet. That's what I did. You know what I mean? But you know, that's what we talk about here. We got a lot to focus on in these live chats, man. So you guys stay tuned and stay empowered, stay motivated. Like my page, follow my page, and set it to see first. If you haven't already, on YouTube, click the bell icon and subscribe. That way you can be empowered with the content that I post, because I try to post nothing but positive stuff. In a world filled with so much mediocrity and so much corruption, you got to find sources of positivity. You know what I mean? And I try to be one. So, you know, with that being said, man, you guys be safe. You know what I mean? If you're going anywhere tonight, enjoy yourselves, drive carefully. You know what I mean? If not, you know, still be safe and tread carefully in your lives, on your timelines, wherever. Tread carefully. You know what I mean? But I'm up out of here, man. Much love to you guys, go. Yo. Much love to you guys. Yo. Appreciate you guys, YouTube, man. Much love, bro. I'm gonna holler at you guys next Sunday at 6 p.m., man. Ugh.